Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. My name is John, the career coach. I'm excited to be doing yet another podcast. With me today, I have Mike Otenyo. Mike, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Excited to finally be on this famous show.
All right, so today we are going to be talking about something that is very useful, and that is personal branding. Whether you're a professional or you've just started a business, or you're actually doing both, you're employed but you have this side gig, personal branding is so important. And I think Mike, is the best person to have this conversation with, because Mike is a co-founder of Wowzy, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about that. And so I cannot wait to dive into this conversation. And to start us off, Mike, can you just tell us who you are and what you do?
Thank you very much, Joanne, for having us. Wowzy is the platform that makes everyone an influencer, and I'm very proud to be one of the co-founders. The platform currently is serving clients across Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. We have about 62,000 influencers, and we are a proud job creator in the sense that we are offering content creation gigs for influencers across the region. I'm very happy to be here, and I'll be sharing a lot more about what Wowzy does and how it can benefit you as a business owner, as an individual, and as someone who's curious to build a digital brand.
All right. So for someone who's listening or are watching and they want a side gig, you said that it's a platform for influencers, and anyone is an influencer. Right?
Yeah, that's the philosophy we have, that everybody has influence, irrespective of the number of followers you have on social media. So we have what we call nano influencers, who are people with 250 to 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
All the way to super influencers, who are people with millions of followers.
Yeah.
So for us, we've created this platform that as long as you are on social media, there's something for you in Wowzy.
Right.
And to give you an example, we have moms who are also on the side influencing, working with different brands at the comfort of their houses. We have taxi drivers who also work with us. We have dancers. We also have celebrities. So at the same time, you shouldn't look at yourself and underestimate the value of the followers that you have on social media. There's a way you can collaborate with brands and make some side income out of collaborations with platforms such as Wowzy.
Right. So we are saying, even if you have 1,000 followers and you're looking, for a side gig, and you have an Instagram page, there's nothing that's stopping you from making some money off of social media, right?
Precisely. There's nothing that stops you. You now have a chance to join the Wowzy platform. It's as simple as, downloading it on the Play Store, going through a very simple KYC that we take you through, getting grooming and training on the Wowzy platform. And then, at the comfort of your phone, you'll be getting gigs, inviting you to participate in different campaigns, be it for, telecommunication brands, entertainment brands, or even FMCG brands. Right.
And honestly, I find that really mind-blowing. And we're just talking about momfluencers. Moms, some of my clients who've been moms, if there's one challenge that they normally face is when they take some time to, give birth, raise their kids, and then now they are looking to get into the job market. They find it very challenging. And I like what you're saying, that even if you're a mom and you're staying home, it is possible for you to do some work while you're still home and raising your children. Can you just tell us some of the work that you've been doing with momfluencers?
Yeah, momfluencers are very close to Wowzy's hearts. I think moms are those people who, once they earn income on Wowzy, it's actually spread through society to take care of the family, to take care of, more people than themselves. So we find them very interesting. They're also very trustworthy in the sense that when they find something that is helpful to them or their family, they're happy to spread it to other moms. Right. So they're very influential.
Yes.
And the last couple of months, we've been having a concerted effort to bring on board more momfluencers on the platform. as we saw a lot of demand from brands.
Yeah.
So think about it. Momfluencers can influence fashion, maternity fashion.
Right.
Momfluencers can influence pharmacies, like we've done work with Good Life pharmacies, where they talk about, how do they deal with different stages of their child's growth and growth and health. We've seen influencers working with people like Nestle, talking about nutrition for kids at various stages of their life. Hair, makeup, because it's not to say that when you are going through the life-giving phase, you shouldn't look good. So hair brands, fashion brands, makeup brands would really love to work with influencers. Insurance,
Yeah, because then you have kids.
Insurance for your kids. They're starting to think about, setting up a trust fund for the university today. So all these things, you can think about influencers working with all these brands. And that's exactly what Walsey has been doing, is organizing influencers, creating sessions where they learn how to create great content, and then linking them with these different brands so that they can do something they love, something fun, while going through life giving.
Exactly. All right. So guys, if you're watching and listening and you have an Instagram account, whether you have 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, and you've been thinking of this side gig and you cannot seem to get a side gig, I hope you're learning from Mike. I hope you're going to go on Play Store, Google Play Store, download the Walsey app, make a profile, sign up, and start earning like some money, start making some money on the side. So today we are going, we are talking about personal branding, and specifically for professionals or even SMEs, whether you are employed, like whether you just started a business or you're doing both. Having a personal brand is so important, and I think you are the co-founder of Walsey, and the core business is on leveraging your social media, right? So can we talk about the importance of personal branding?
Yes, I think that's a very good question. With the advent of the internet and social media is one of the ways we are connecting with each other. It's almost as if you don't have a digital brand, you're non-existent.
Exactly.
Right? And so people want know you exist.
Yes.
They want to interact with you.
Yeah.
You will be closed to the multitude of opportunities that are there in the digital world.
Right.
And I think I've heard now people are moving beyond even the internet to the metaverse. So if you've not even gone into the internet, you're lost.
You might be lost somewhere.
Completely.
Yeah.
So I think we can't emphasize the importance of having a digital brand. You need it in this world. Otherwise, you'll be closed on to many opportunities.
Yeah, and dare I say, even if you feel, like now for example, Mike is the co-founder of Walsey, and maybe Mike doesn't like social media and does not want to, like to be in that space, you are better off hiring someone to help you with that presence as opposed to not being there completely, right?
No, I mean, we live in a world where a Twitter post can be able to crash the stock prices.
Yeah.
Right? So we've seen companies where, I don't know, Elon Musk says something and either, everybody's downloading Signal now because he said it. So the power of the digital brand. I say even the individual digital brand, and you see it even in companies where companies are looking at the engagement they're getting from their official page versus the engagement they're getting from the CEO's page. And it's worlds apart. There's more engagement with the CEO's page compared to the company page. The company page, it's impersonal, it's not authentic, it's just there.
Exactly.
But when they see the CEO is doing, podcast, he's tweeting, he's writing articles, he's appearing in webinars, then they relate and connect more.
Yes.
So it's very important for large companies, for small and medium companies, for even sole proprietorships
Right.
to be able to build this digital brand very deliberately.
Yeah.
Not being there is bad enough.
Mm.
Being there and not doing it well is not also helping anyone. So it's almost the way I like thinking about it is think of how do you crawl, walk, run, and fly in social media.
Yes.
So crawling is as easy as starting to create those pages.
Yes.
Making sure they're clean. Walking would be something like starting to post, being more consistent, thinking through your content.
Yeah.
And flying, which is where I would say, Joanne, you are, is now where you are very careful in terms of even investing in equipment, getting proper production around you, doing collabs with other podcasters and bloggers and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So no one should be afraid to start.
Yeah.
And think of it more as a journey of brand building. And at each stage there are things you're learning, there are things you're adding until you now are flying in digital. It's giving you the full benefits that it has.
Yeah. Because I think we are saying certain important things here. We are saying that human beings are very relational. So I'm going to buy a product or service from Mike because I know Mike. So people are going to buy goods and services from people that they know and they like and they have a certain rapport with. And that is why like when you have a social media presence, you need to be like very relational in like in those different platforms. You could have a LinkedIn profile, but if you do not post or you're not creating any content, you're not sharing anything, you're not liking anyone's post, then your profile is actually hidden in the dark. Because a platform like LinkedIn, the algorithm of the LinkedIn profile is normally different from a platform like Instagram. For example, on LinkedIn, the profiles that are visible are the profiles of the people who have the most engagement. But then, a platform like Instagram, maybe you posted something maybe last week, and then today you post something else and it doesn't have any likes and shares, but I'm going to be able to see it because you posted something. So different social media platforms have different algorithms, and we need to know what these algorithms are so that then we are able to maximize them to the full. But then like understanding that people are relational, human beings are relational, and people are going to buy things and buy goods and services from people that they know and they have a relationship with, right? Yeah. So we were also talking about that, like in companies, for example, everyone or all your employees are influencers.
Yes.
Each and every person in your company is an influencer. So you are better off like working with the people that you've hired and those people that you know to grow your business. Can you talk a little bit about that, especially for SMEs?
Exactly. So everybody talks about influencers, right? And that name has been, it's been abused. And a lot of the times the first instinct is for people to think Kim Kardashian, so lifestyle influencers, which is very important.
Yeah, the followers, because there's talking about them because of the followers.
Talking about them because of the followers and also the lifestyle. It's seen as flashy, going to hotels and fancy places. But if you think about it deeper, there are a couple, actually two sets of influencers that are hugely underestimated. The first one are your own employees. Yeah. These are people who are already enrolled on the vision. They understand your product better than anybody of you, sometimes even more than the owner. Because they are the frontline workers. Right. They know the pain points of the customers, they deal with them every day. But rarely do we think of them as influencers. Yeah. In fact, when we're talking about influencer budgets, we're thinking about external. We don't
think about their ones.
So we started something at what we call Staffluencers,
Oh.
where we are helping companies to turn their own employees into influencers. It's a whole program.
Okay.
They get enrolled, they do a masterclass, we bring all these other top influencers to coach and mentor them,
Right.
and then they start creating content. I think a
Okay.
good example is something we're doing with Safaricom,
Okay.
where we're calling it the Staffluencer program, and it's focused on customer obsession. So the company, they've decided that their biggest goal will be to become very obsessed with customers.
Oh, okay.
But there's no way you will achieve customer obsession if the employee workforce is not enrolled.
Right.
So the first thing is to enroll a pool of influencers who will drive customer obsession internally and eventually start trickling down this into their social media profiles. So it's a very fun project.
Yeah.
Out of 6,000 employees, I think 250 have enrolled. And it's an amazing case study we'll be sharing very soon,
Yeah.
so that we take this model
Yeah.
and take it to the SME. How many employees do you have? 5, 10? How can they all be actively engaged
Yeah.
in terms of promoting your brand? So that's the one underestimated one. The second underestimated influencer is your own customers.
Right.
So people forget that word of mouth is the reason they're where they are. The reason Joanne, the career coach, blew out or became the biggest thing in career and growth in Kenya is because one person who had a good experience talked to another,
Yeah.
who talked to another, and talked to another.
Yeah.
So those are your core customers.
Right.
And again, I think people are not using their own customers enough as influencers.
Okay.
They're not using their employees, they're not using their own core customers.
Right.
And those are two sets of cohorts or groups
Yeah.
that an SME can immediately deploy,
Yeah.
even before going out there to find,
An influencer
an
to
influencer
pay.
to pay.
The one for employees is very clear, but how can an SME, or someone with a small business use their customers to grow their brand? So like for me, for example, what I normally do when I get, when a client comes back and says, you did a CV for me and I got this job, I always post that feedback. So that is what I do. But what are other things that someone who has a company can do, so that then their customers are helping them to build and grow their brand?
Yeah, I think this is where technology and platforms such as Wowzy comes in.
Yeah.
Because it can really help you to begin grouping your best customers and running campaigns with them. I am, I don't know, I've been Joanne career-fied or whatever, right? So I can picture every time one of your customers has gone through your experience and they're happy, they have a simple placard that says, I'm Joannified or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, Joanne career-fied.
All right.
It's a very simple campaign.
Yeah.
But over time, you start seeing, Fashionable Stepmom was career-fied. Mike
Was career-fied.
and then it becomes something viral.
Yeah.
And especially when you're dealing with this type of campaigns for customers, you make them very simple. So they're simple as the placard. They're simple as, for this week, we have, I don't know, it's Black Joan Careers Black Friday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
50% off. And then you tell your customers to drive that message. They have posters.
Okay.
They're putting it on their WhatsApps. They're changing their profile pictures to celebrate, this 50% off week. So there are very many ways that you can tap into them just for them to also spread this message.
Okay, but what is going to make me as a client want to promote, this person that I've bought something from, even if it was good, and you see, it's not that they give me a discount. I paid the full amount. So like, for example, maybe you're selling watches.
Yes.
Then I come and sell, I buy a watch from you and I really love the watch and I wear the watch. What is going to make me want to promote you and I fully paid for the watch?
Yeah. What we are all forgetting is customers are doing it anyway.
Yeah.
They're already talking about it.
Yeah.
They had a good service, they had a fantastic service. they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's why someone will say, oh, Joanne, I was recommended by so-and-so. Because the good service that you provide inherently is good enough for them to spread the message. If the service is bad, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, I didn't really like the service. But if the service is good, what you'll find is that already this type of word of mouth is already taking place, which is fascinating. So what you're bringing is not trying to pull them into doing something they're not doing.
Yeah.
You're just organizing it. I think that's the piece that's missing. You're organizing very deliberate campaigns, giving your customers short snippets, posters, content that they can distribute. You're making their life easier, they're making their life better. And if you like, you can add an incentive of some sort, where you either compensate them for doing what they're doing, or you give them some award, or give them some tokens. So there's multiple ways to build this model. Yeah. That's already happening. Yeah. That's the sense I get.
Yeah. I like what you said about an incentive, because then, then if you're giving an incentive, then people might be, more encouraged to share even like that placard, or to put up a status on their WhatsApp, and because then they know if I do XYZ, maybe I'm going to come back and get a cover letter, or I'm going to come back or I get a point, and if these points reach a certain number, I can be able to redeem these points for something. Yeah. But I also like that you've said it's something, it's a strategy that you want to think that you can really use the customers that you currently have to grow your presence and to grow your brand. Because, one customer is going to talk to another, and it becomes this big thing. So again, as we continue the discussion about personal branding, what are some other things that a small, an SME or someone with a small business can do to leverage their social media to grow their presence online?
Yeah, I think ultimately what SMEs care about is increasing their top line.
Right.
They
Sales.
really want to increase sales.
Numbers.
How do we increase numbers? How do we ensure that, more people know about my product and service? And what you find in social media is there's a lot of noise. So you can easily be lost.
Right.
And I think that's where your strategy comes in, and you think about how do we stand out in terms of the market? How do we use the different digital tools that are in existence to drive, uptake and awareness of our products? I've seen a few examples. I think High Styles has really impressed me. They're a shop, I would imagine, in town selling ladies' clothes, and they have curated models who go in, and every day they're wearing clothes and promoting it through Instagram Reels. Yeah. Instagram Reels are fairly new, and therefore the algorithm really favors people who are consistent.
Exactly. Yeah.
And unlike other parts of Instagram, I don't have to be following you to see your reel. So the reel is spread out even more widely than others. So I think for SMEs is to look at these unique tools. If you're selling clothes, how can you begin even using your own customers as the models? Yeah. And every time they come to your shop and they're trying out clothes, they do a reel. Yeah. And over time, these reels go viral. Yeah. They always have a call to action. They always have a link to how do you buy, and so on and so forth. That would be quite interesting. Yeah. I think the other thing is to ride on the wave. Like, this is Black Friday in November. It's a global thing. It's happening every time. How can you as an SME think about these holidays? Because they were curated very deliberately. That's why Valentine's, everybody wears red and flowers are sold. Yeah. And Black Friday, there's always discounts. Christmas is coming. If you are in the healthcare space, there's Men's Health Month, there's Women's Health Month. Yeah. So how do you look at the year calendar and ride on all these different activities that are going on to amplify some messages, to have discounts going, and to increase your sales? Right. So I think digital offers that opportunity. And a lot of these tools are free. Yeah. I don't know of many SMEs that are using Twitter Spaces, but Twitter Spaces are very popular right now. Yeah. where you can start engaging your employees and your staff and your customers in weekly conversations where you just talk about, products. And going on Twitter Space is free.
Yeah.
And if your staff know about it, it will start going viral, and the customers know about it, start going viral. So I think it's zooming in on the different social media tools that are available and trying to leverage them.
Okay.
WhatsApp is another one that's underestimated, yet it's probably one of the most powerful social media platforms.
Yeah.
Because of various reasons. It's where you have the people you most trust. If I'm not on your phone book, you'll never see my WhatsApp status.
Yeah.
So the people who see the groups you've joined are groups that you care about. Estate groups,
church groups,
Chama women Chama groups. So how do you begin curating unique content pieces that are WhatsApp ready? That can easily be shared. Kenyans love memes. So as SMEs, we need to start becoming even more playful. Don't be too serious. Can you have memes that are shareable, that talk about your product in a very unique and fun and witty way? So those are things that you can begin doing with no cost. Just having fun and leveraging social media. And I like what you said about wittiness, because then the other platform that is underestimated is TikTok. Exactly.
And that's where, in fact, I think I was reading somewhere, if you want to advertise something today, you probably want to advertise it on TikTok. Because then, like all of us are going through things and life is hard. So most people are going to TikTok for fun, like to have fun, to just, you're going there for a laugh. So as you're going there to, look for something to make you laugh, you end up seeing, Mike is selling watches, or, Joseph is a tutor and he's offering piano lessons. And, so you might think that a platform like TikTok is for people who are not serious with life, but then, it might be the platform that ends up opening you up. Can we also talk about TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok is the fastest growing social media in the world. It's breaking so many records.
Right.
Just hit 1 billion people. It was initially dismissed as a kids platform.
Right.
I'm not on TikTok. But over time we're seeing more different age groups joining TikTok. Again, people go to TikTok for various reasons. One big one is entertainment. So they're going to release pressures of life just by scrolling and watching entertaining things. And if they see something they like, they share it on WhatsApp. So TikTok not only has that entertainment angle that draws so many people, it also has the highest shareability. Because if you think how easy it is to share a TikTok video, that's not the same for other platforms. So when you advertise on TikTok or you put up something on TikTok, it's likely to be seen in Facebook, to be seen in WhatsApp and Instagram, because the best ones go viral and are redistributed and recreated. Again, it's also about riding on the wave. Again, on TikTok, you'll find there's always a challenge of sorts. So, scroll through the different hashtags, look at a challenge. Is there anyone that can resonate with what you're trying to talk about? For service industry, motivation has become a very interesting category on TikTok, where you see someone will use 15 to 30 seconds to give a very motivational conversation or talk, and those go viral. So I think that's the other thing that's very, very much underused. I think the other thing that people underuse across all platforms is lives. The world is moving live more. Live is something that people, when you're going through your Instagram or your TikTok, someone goes live, it doesn't matter what they're doing.
Exactly.
They
could be, they're just, I'm here drinking water. That's all that I'm doing. And you see guys.
And they want to see what you are up to. So how can we leverage the excitement with lives? Seeing things live. Think about it. The best things that draw the biggest audiences are live. Miss Universe or Miss World is live. World Cup
Yeah, it's live.
The finals, whatever, is live. Super Bowl, which is now the biggest, one of the biggest advertising opportunities in the US, it's live. So now we've democratized lives. It's something that people almost have an inherent need to go watch a live.
Yes.
So how do you use it as an SME to talk about your products, to connect with your customers deeper, to become a bit vulnerable, to be authentic. So there's a lot of opportunities around the live that can be leveraged.
Right. And I think from what I'm getting from you is you really need a social media strategy. You cannot go in blindly because there are all these moving parts. There's so much going on, like what is trending today is not going to be trending tomorrow. And especially, what advice would you give to someone who struggles with social media? So I've come and I've watched and listened to Mike talking about all these things that I need to do, but I'm really not social media savvy. And you see, and I need these things to grow my audience, to grow my numbers. What advice would you give to such a person?
I think the first one is learn. There's a lot of material that you can be able to just learn in terms of what are the best practices, especially for small and medium enterprises. I think that's one big thing that you need to do is really learn. The second thing is probably finding help. There's multiple ways. I think one way is to partner with universities. I know some SME who partnered with Africa Digital Media Institute, or they go to Daystar School of Design, and they find students who are still in the second or third year.
Yes.
Remember, students are experts by virtue of their age. They spend so many hours on social media.
Exactly.
So you can be able to tap into their brilliance and have them even intern with you. You'll be surprised how much value they give you as a business. As it grows and becomes even more professional, there's multiple firms that provide, digital as a service in a box. So whatever your budget, they're able to give you so many design pieces, a social media manager, page manager. So that's also one way to think about it. But start small, and then as you go deeper and deeper, start getting help to really optimize the digital opportunity.
Okay. And how about now a professional? So you're a finance person, you are in marketing, you're in HR. How do you grow your brand so that then it works for you in terms of getting jobs and getting yourself out there in front of hiring managers?
LinkedIn will be the best platform for this. I think LinkedIn was designed for the professional.
Yes.
To build meaningful relationships with other people in the professional world. And you need a very powerful or clean LinkedIn page. You need to have a complete profile, simple things like a powerful photo, blah, 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 that's clear. And then the next thing is to leverage different tools on LinkedIn to be able to be visible. As you mentioned, the algorithm favors people who are active.
Exactly.
So doing posts, simple things like polls. People don't use polls, and it's simple. You might have something, a question you've always wondered within your industry, and you ask it, you have multiple choices that people answer. LinkedIn also allows you to be able to write articles. So if you're a good writer, you can be able to write articles and so on and so forth. So being very active. I have a friend who, was working for the largest telcos. He became very active on LinkedIn. Then, Facebook reached out.
Okay.
Now he's working in Ireland, greener pastures.
Oh, wow.
But he attributes this to his digital presence.
Yes.
Because otherwise, these headhunters would have never even thought of him. There are many more people who are more qualified than him.
Yes.
But he was out there, they were hiding. So an opportunity struck. He was one of the people who was shortlisted, went through this heavy digital, interview, and now he's in Ireland, doing very well.
All right. So recently, I think this year they introduced something on TikTok called the TikTok CV, TikTok video CV. So you actually record yourself under 1 minute, saying who you are, what you do, what your capabilities are, and your value proposition. So we are moving, towards a time when even other platforms are going to be, important, like TikTok. You can actually also just do a short video and put the video on your featured section on TikTok. Or like now, for example, most powerful people or most like CEOs and CFOs and CTOs, they are on Twitter. So you are actually you have high chances of a CEO responding to your inbox if you message them on Twitter, for example, as opposed to LinkedIn. Because on LinkedIn you'll find HRs and recruiters, but like the hiring managers, the decision makers are on a platform like Twitter. So that you are also thinking about how you want to use these other platforms, because then most people are actually not on Twitter, like for one reason or the other. Maybe they find it difficult to use. And that means that if you messaged, like a CEO or someone influential on Twitter, they have high chances of responding, because maybe on LinkedIn they have 1 million messages, and on Instagram they have 1 million messages. So the last thing I want us to talk about is, there are people who feel they don't want to share so much on social media.
Yeah.
What would you say is, where do you draw the line? As an SME, I want to grow my business. I need to do all these videos. So where do I draw the line?
Yeah, I think it's very important to draw the line. It's very important to draw the line and know what you're willing to share and what you're not willing to share.
Yeah.
That's partly what you'll be doing when you're strategizing and deciding that, like personally, my socials are mainly for professional. I use it mainly for my professional conversations and outlook, as opposed to my personal life.
Yeah.
And that's a decision that I made very strategically. Someone else may decide the opposite. I'll share my personal life and not share my profession. And not one is better than the other, but I think you need to be very conscious of what you're doing and how you're doing it. The internet never forgets.
Yes.
So, immediately you post something weird, screenshots are already taken, they're already distributed. So the internet never forgets. I think with that in mind, you should be very careful. You should have it's like investment, right? You have your risk appetite. So some person will be like, ninaeka pesa chini ya mattress. I don't know, banks might fall, so the risk appetite is so low. Another will put it in the bank and be okay with small interest rate. Another will be like forex and crypto and just go crazy, right? So the same way you think about your social media is, what in the spectrum of your risk appetite, where do you fall?
Yeah.
And depending on where you fall, you can be as open or as closed as needed.
Right.
It's very important to have that conversation with yourself very early on.
Exactly. So, Mike, as we wind up, what are your parting shots?
I think my parting shot is, digital is here to stay. You cannot afford, as a small and medium enterprise or as a professional, not to leverage it. You're missing out a lot if you are what I consider internet dark, in the sense that you're just on the background.
Yeah.
The second thing that I think is, a lot of us have impostor syndrome. So you're like, let me just stay in the back.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have impostor syndrome. Start small. No one is telling you that you'll have everything figured out, but just start small. Start growing consecutively. The best learnings are done by doing.
Yeah.
So we might be here, we give you all the tips, but unless you do it yourself, you won't experience the results that we are talking about. And then seek help when needed. Again, there's many experts on this stuff, and a lot of the times the expert is your teenage daughter in the house.
Yes.
Is your sister, your nephew, your niece. I know a CEO who is now doing killer content on Instagram, but he's being helped by the nephew. The nephew takes the phone, does all the images, and puts all the filters that are needed, and so on and so forth, and gives him, and he posts. So you look at his page, it's fascinating. But that's where the mentoring comes in, because we always think about mentors as being older and so on and so forth. But now it's your junior or someone younger mentoring you. Reverse mentoring, I think it's called. So social media is a chance for reverse mentoring. It's a chance to actually sit down with your sons and daughters and nephews and nieces to understand what's hot, what's happening, what's trending, and then tap into their expertise and knowledge to grow yourself. So that would be my parting shot.
All right, great. Guys, I hope you have listened. I hope you've noted down what you need to do. As Mike is saying, I think for me the greatest takeaway is you need to be on social media if you are to grow your your presence online. You need a strategy. You cannot just go in without a strategy. You need to come up with a strategy. Get help if you don't know your way around social media. You can hire someone. You can use, as Mike has said, like your nephews, people who are younger than you. They can be able to mentor you, so that then you're able to know what to do and what not to do. I hope, guys, you found this session beneficial. Thank you so much, Mike, for making some time to come and for enlightening us on this digital marketing space. We are really grateful. Thank you, guys, and see you next time.